Would you say your generation is more promiscuous or the vice versa?
Oh, I believe we're way more promiscuous. I mean, I think that's, again, a lot of our issues in society today are stemmed from sex. If sex was only happening in marriage, there would be a lot less issues today, right? All these unplanned pregnancies, all the porn, all the issues going on. My generation, I do believe, is so much more promiscuous because we know nothing different. I mean, you go watch a PG-13 movie, which should be a safe movie to watch with your teenagers. You watch it, and you're sitting there and you're like, wait, is this a porno or is this a movie? There's sex in everything now, in every TV show and every movie. I mean, of course, there's the select few that have stayed good, but like, go watch Grey's Anatomy, a show about doctors, and there's a sex scene in every other episode. And so for my generation, this has been normalized. I mean, you have the books that girls are always sharing about, go read this book, go read that book, that are basically, it's a pornography book. And
like 50 Shades of Grey?
Yeah, exactly. That's a prime example of this. My generation, for the most part, doesn't even realize that's pornography and that's promiscuous and all these things because it's everywhere.
And that book is so insulting to women.
Exactly.
Where are all the feminists?
Yeah.
Basically, the guy was torturing a girl for three movies, 3 books.
It's so anti-woman.
So this is the chart of young male being virgins.
Interesting.
Look at the stats. So in 1989, only 7% of men that turned 18 were virgins. Right now, in 2018, it's only 2018, 27%, every third. So I believe in 2025, I would say even more.
Yeah.
So women become more promiscuous and they're having more body counts. And male are having less sex. So it means that girls having sex with only top 1% of the guys.
I would like to see the study that they directly did on this. I don't know if it has to do with males being less promiscuous or less wanting to have sex. I think this could potentially be due to porn and men not looking out for sexual partners because
it demands time, effort.
To used to see that stuff, you would have to go down to a little newsstand and pick up a magazine with all that stuff. And, most men didn't want to do that because they don't want people to publicly know. Now all you have to do is pull out your phone and within seconds you can be seeing the worst of the worst porn. And so if male virginity really is on the rise, again, I would love to see the in-depth study if they have any reasonings why. But I mean, if you can just pull out your phone and watch porn every single day, why are you going to go out and try to look for a sexual partner when you can be your own because of this major push and rise in the porn industry?
You know what's interesting? So when I was 16 to 18 years old, for instance, right? So that was almost 20 years ago. I wanted to have sex so bad, I would have sex with every other girl, right? So we wanted the girls to be more promiscuous. But now I see the vice versa. We males want for girls to have less men. Just like you said, men become more conservative. Yeah. Christian conservative. So it flipped. Now you want more sex with the guys than we want with the girls. So it flipped I want to say in the last 15 to 20 years. That's very interesting to see.
Yeah, it is interesting to see. It's, again, that goes back to social media and women trying to act like someone they're not or try to show off their body more because they see the bikini models on social media and things like that. I think it, again, goes back to men not feeling the need to find a sexual partner. I wish at the end of the day that all of this would stop because people recognize that sex is a beautiful thing created by God in unity of marriage between a male and a female. And so I think if people recognized how heartbreaking and horrible sex can be when it's outside of a marriage and when it's just for seeking a pleasure for a couple minutes or whatever it is, I wish male virginity was on the rise because they recognize that sex is a beautiful thing for marriage. I don't know if that's necessarily where we're at as a society, but in Christian conservatism, there needs to be a lot more talk about sex should be between a man and a woman in marriage and not just between any random stranger.
Did you watch the Oscars 2 days ago?
I saw clips. I didn't watch the entire thing.
Do you know who won the Best Picture and the 4 other Oscars? Anora? You didn't watch the movie?
No.
So this movie is about a girl that was a stripper and a hooker on the side. So she was having sex for the money for the 1% of the clients.
Yeah.
So she meets then a Russian oligarch's son. He's a billionaire, right? So she kind of falls in love, and etc. So she wins an Oscar for leading role. Best Picture, Best Director, Screenplay, 4 or 5 Oscars. And she wins this very pornographic movie, by the way. She wins the Oscar, and when she's standing with the Oscar in her hands, she's thinking, she's praising the sex workers. It's a work. It's not nothing bad at all, and etc. So she's praising on the biggest stage sex workers, basically prostitutes. Do you think she's so naive that she doesn't know that percentage-wise, there is a lot of human trafficking that is involved in there? Or she thinks that maybe sex workers or prostitutes is just a work like every other, and you just get paid for getting laid with men or women. What do you think that is?
I think it's probably naive, as well as sex workers have become a normalized thing in society, which again is heartbreaking. It's so anti-woman. It's dehumanizing. Like you said, there is a lot of human trafficking that happens within the sex worker industry. I mean, I have talked to women that were sex workers, not by choice, but they got groomed into it at 14, 15 years old. They weren't sex workers. They were being human trafficked, but it's getting allowed to happen because of sex work. And so, no, sex work is not just another job. It's so anti-woman. And to watch women parade this idea, it's horrific. It's so sad. Have some moral standards, have some value of your own body. Sex work is not work. It's, at the end of the day, whether you're willingly doing it or not, it's sex and human trafficking.